Everybody for joining this morning. Welcome to our virtual event. Today's virtual event is the Kenworth T680 Next Generation Truck. Exciting stuff to talk about today, so thank you for joining us. We appreciate you taking your time out of your busy schedule to be with us. My name is Chad Seth. I'm the Director of Truck Sales for Rihm Kenworth. And with me today is Scott Cirksena. He's our Great Lakes District Sales Manager for Kenworth Truck Company. We're going to go over the exciting new changes to our most aerodynamic truck, the Kenworth T680. During this event, if you have any questions or would like to communicate with the speakers, please use either the Q&A or chat options at the bottom of your screen. And we will be recording this webinar today and make it available to you afterwards. At the conclusion of the meeting, we'll have time for some questions. So just a reminder, you can type your questions in the chat box or Q&A box in your control panel at the bottom of the screen. With that, I'll turn it over to Scott Cirksena with Kenworth Truck Company.
Well, thank you, Chad. Good morning, everybody. Appreciate the opportunity to be here with you during a very exciting time to be in our collective industry. Whether you're building trucks or whether you're running them, we've got a lot going on. So I think before we dive into new product introduction, just a couple of observations from Kenworth Truck Company in terms of where we are in the marketplace today. Obviously, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that we're in a strong economy. We have been, notwithstanding the COVID situation that we've been in for the last year. Dropping unemployment levels. I think we're about 6.3% or so nationally now. Strong consumer spending, and the consumers, 70% plus of our GDP every year. That just continues. The housing market, construction, automotive, and the overall aggregate demand for goods, consumer goods, based on that strong consumer spending, has fueled this economy. So we're in the middle of that, obviously, and a bellwether that we use, over time is, hey, what's the consensus Class 8 industry build forecast for any given year? And as we wound up 2020, the consensus was, this a 240 to 260 K market for moving into 2021, and that has slid upwards to 260 to 280 K. We're definitely seeing that in our backlogs. You're all educated and working with the marketplace every day and understand where other OEMs are in terms of their backlog. Our immediate build backlog for 2.1 meter product, which you'll see today, is in mid-August now. So that continues to move very, very quickly. I think that we'll see how the market overall responds, but the big concern is always the supply chain being able to keep up with the aggregate demand that we're seeing. And we're starting to see interruptions now. So that just has to be managed carefully. But all that being said, it's truly an exciting time to be in our business. And I'm excited to introduce to you today the new T680 Next Generation Truck. For those of you that have experience with the T680 product, and that's many of you, I think, that are on, I remember when we launched this project in 2012, and it was a far departure from where we were historically for Kenworth. The 1.9 meter cab served us for generations in all of our product offerings for the most part. And this was a big step forward. And the strategy then and the idea then was, let's build a truck that makes the driver experience the most pleasant as possible. This is an RV on wheels. We want our drivers to be comfortable. We want to have great visibility. We want to have great safety. All of these things that are important to drivers, let's do it. And this is now evolved up until now. And now we're really taking it to the next level for the world's best driver amenities in the form of aerodynamics and electronics. So I'm very excited to take you through this. I have two videos that I'm going to share with you, and we're doing videos because these videos do the best job, I think, of really laying out for you all that we have done, all that's gone into the design and into this new product that we know now as the next generation T680. So, Kristen, I'm going to have you start with the reveal video, and then we're going to move into a design video, and then we'll have some other points of interest, and then open for Q&A. Kristen? Yeah, pretty cool stuff there. What a great representation of this new launch. And so now what we're going to take a few minutes to do is really go into the design features, advantages, and benefits as laid out by Joe Adams, our chief engineer for Kenworth Truck Company, and a couple of our other design engineers. And this will give you even more background about this great new launch. Kristen?
Welcome to Kenworth Research and Development. In 2012, we launched the T680, which set the standard for an on-highway truck model. Since then, we've been innovating, and we're going to set the standard again. Follow me, and I'll show you the next generation.
The challenge for the development team for the next generation T680 was to take the work that we did on the original T680, the truck that really set the standard, and improve upon the aerodynamics, the technology, and the refinement, and make the styling really show that this is a world-class high-performance machine.
We really wanted to focus on improving the aerodynamics. We wanted to make another big jump in the industry. The goal was to do this not in isolation, but to really work with all the other groups that are at Kenworth. We wanted the best aerodynamics, the best design, the best functionality. This is a high functioning machine. It's modern and it performs very, very well.
When we started the project, we really wanted to first take the time to observe the way people were using our current instrumentation system and learn from that. And we were seeing that drivers weren't necessarily using the level of depth that is in typical instrumentation. So the freedom of a completely glass cockpit just opens up the door to letting us do what the driver needs and showing it to them when they need it.
One of the objectives of the T680 Next Generation program is improving aerodynamics. You can see that we've added 28-inch side extenders on the vehicle here. That allows us to have seamless air flowing off of the cab, the sleeper, and onto the trailer.
So one of the biggest ways you can improve aerodynamics is by decreasing the trailer gap. So getting that that trailer as tight as you can up to the back of the sleeper. But that makes it really difficult for any kind of access up onto the chassis or for even hooking up your trailer lines and everything.
But we also wanted to have really good trailer access. And so in order to do that, we've designed an opening fairing extension, which allows us to move it out of the way, and then the drivers have clear access to the back of the sleeper to do any of the things they need to do in their daily inspection. Now the T680 has all new fairings that you see here, which allow air to smoothly move down the side of the vehicle, across the tandems, and onto the trailer.
The new chassis fairings are so aerodynamic that we no longer have to offer full wheel-to-wheel chassis fairings. We can have a partial that has improved aerodynamic.
And one of the other things that we've done is we've developed a vent in the back of the fender well that allows air to come from under the engine compartment and come out around the step area.
One unique feature we do have on this truck is a fender vent that basically evacuates air out of the underhood and behind our fenders. It gives us a good opportunity to draw some air out from the underhood, both improving aerodynamics and removing hot air from the engine and the radiator.
Now for the drivers, we've included a battery inspection panel that you see here that allows you to open and do quick inspections on your battery on all of their daily checklists.
So, given that so much of Next Generation is about an aerodynamic enhancement, one of the obvious changes is the side skirts and steps. We didn't want to sacrifice that really important ingress-egress experience with something in the aerodynamics realm. So the steps are still the best in the industry when it comes to getting in and out of the truck safely.
We've also introduced an all-new LED side turn indicator, which provides great visibility.
One of the other things you'll notice about the lighting is there's a large side turn indicator down the back edge of the front fender. And part of it is gives us, the designers, a nice cool blade of light down the back of the fender and really gives it an expressive look. But for the driver, it makes sure that everybody coming up alongside of you, especially folks in passenger cars, they can see what you're going to do. You turn that turn signal on, they can't miss it.
Now back to aerodynamics. We've got the wheel well closeout, so they're designed specifically for the geometry of the hood on the Next Generation T680, and that flows into an all-new bumper design. Now when you look at the new bumper design, one of the things we did is we maintained the ground clearance that we had on the current T680, allowing air to go underneath and then exit in the vent areas that I've talked about on the sides.
We have the same ramp angle, like approach angle, and ground clearance as we have on today's T680 with improved aerodynamic performance. We extend that bumper further under the bottom of the truck to keep the air attached and direct it as it goes under.
The hood has been designed to be narrower, which helps us reduce drag on the front of the vehicle. In order to do that, we've designed an all-new cooling package inside, more narrow and lower in the frame rails, which give us the ability for air to move seamlessly down the sides. We've also designed a new optional LED headlamp for the T680. Now these headlamps have best-in-class forward light performance, and they have this signature nighttime and daytime running light feature that really is an accent for the Next Generation product.
They allow us to have a really expressive look. The daytime running light curves with the shape of the fender, and that's going to be the thing you're going to see, way down the road. And you're going to know it's a Kenworth when it's coming towards you. The lighting performance is just incredible, and it's a nice, bright, clear light that's like daylight color. We've even included heaters inside the headlamps to control the condensation and fogging on the lens.
On the sides of the hood, we have an all-new air intake that's designed to be both functional and have excellent look for a premium image T680 Next Generation product. One of the other things that we've done is you see on the A-pillar that we've installed a turning vane. And what that does is helps us with aerodynamics again by taking air coming off of the windshield and keeping it smoothly flowing down the sides of the vehicle from the sleeper and onto the trailer.
We designed every part to work with all the other parts. Our increased fuel economy performance, our lowest drag comes from designing all these parts to move the air from one component to the next.
Now in total, all of the changes that we've made for aerodynamics, plus The inclusion of the PACCAR MX engine provides us up to 6% improvement in fuel economy for the T680 Next Generation. Now let me show you some of the changes that we made on the inside of the vehicle.
The Next Gen T680 has all new interior colors. What we really wanted to do was bring some more contrast and refinement into the interior. We have a nice new black color on all the lower bits, and then our light tan or light gray up above. And in the premium diamond interiors, we have a new color called Madrona, which is a rich coppery color that is on the center of our leather seats. It's on the stitching, and we think that really gives it a high-end premium look.
When you get in the T680, one of the first things you'll notice is a lot of our new interior trims. We've got all new fabrics on both the seats and on the door pads. We've got new wood grain trim that we've added, which give it a very premium feel. And the other thing that you notice immediately is the high resolution 15-inch digital display in the A-cluster position.
One of the aspects that we really wanted to bring forward when we developed this instrumentation system is to enhance and support the driver experience in the vehicle, and giving a level of control that they can minimize and maximize gauges and even customize view in their favorites page setup really makes the driver think that this instrumentation system is built to enhance the way they work or the way they want to see, and it's not just what the factory delivered to them.
Now this provides drivers all the information they need to maintain and operate their vehicle, from speedo to RPMs to other details. This new digital display is paired to an all-new smart wheel, which has the features for controlling the digital display, cruise control, and other features all integrated so that the drivers keep their hands on the wheel while they're driving down the road. This is a part of the excellent innovation that we've included in the new T680 Next Generation.
The interesting thing about truck design is it shouldn't be about anything other than the numbers. It's a tool to get the job done. But at the end of the day, there's a person making the decision about purchasing that truck, and there are people who need to interact and operate and live with that truck. And anything we can do to bring like a level of passion and interest and pride to those people because of what we do in the design department, that kind of takes it to the next level, and makes something from just an excellent business decision to the world's best and a driver's truck that somebody wants to have.
Okay, so hopefully that gives you really quite a background into the thought methodology that went into this redesign and improvement with the next generation truck. Kristen, I'm going to ask you to bring up one other slide because I want to speak to back wall storage. For those of you that have experience with the T680 product, when we launched in 2012, the configuration and construction that we had at the time in our large sleeper didn't support back wall storage, and we just couldn't find a way to do it. And now we have just a terrific option here. As you can see, this is first class. It's soft rubber dampened. You've got just under 8.5 square feet of storage space with multiple tie downs. This can be retrofitted with an upper bunk for the second life of the truck as well. So it's great to have this as part of the new offering, and hope you find that of benefit certainly to your drivers as we spec and run the next generation truck. We obviously want to open up for questions. The main goal long term is to get you to work with your Rihm sales representative to start speccing your next truck. And there'll be a lot of questions, I'm sure, as we work through that process. But certainly open to questions now, and I think Chad's going to facilitate that as we work through. Again, my thanks to you for being with us today and for your business. Appreciate it. Chad?
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate the presentation. We do have some time for questions, so just a reminder, you can type your questions into the chat. feature or the Q&A box in your control panel at the bottom of your screen. And as questions come through, we'll answer them. And if there's not any questions, we can put a wrap on it. But I'll give you a minute here to send those questions off. Looks like Scott, you did a wonderful job. One question, did the customers get a code if they buy one of these trucks?
I'm going to refer you to your dealer sales representative to answer that question.
Question from someone, can we get a chrome bumper or is it just painted?
It's painted for now. The metal, we're calling it a metal bumper, I believe will be in phase 2 of the product launch. This is the launch is coming in 3 phases. And so that will be a phase 2 launch, and that'll be this fall.
Okay. Thank you. Another question from someone. What changes have been made to the engine and after treatment system on the new model?
Well, really the biggest changes are the aerodynamic changes that we've made. Really the engine and after treatment systems themselves have all just really kind of been ultra refined for efficiency and performance, but no hard changes there. It's really driven in the aerodynamics of the truck, which is really, this is the first phase of greenhouse gas emissions that we're addressing now. And by 2030, we will all experience significant changes in Class 8 truck production and technology with electrification, hybrid fuel cells, those kinds of technologies, of which Kenworth is really a leader in the market today for those technologies. CNG is another one. So we've been a leader in these technologies. Now the market's going to start taking off. But this is a perfect example of how now trucks are being scored based on how they're spec'd and based on their level of aerodynamics to reduce our carbon footprint as a company. You don't see that as a customer necessarily. It's not immediately visible to you. But it's certainly visible to us. And so we, at the end of the year, sit down with the EPA and review that score and review that carbon footprint. And it definitely has an impact on our cost of doing business. So that's really going to be the focus as we move forward, as it relates to engine efficiencies and after treatment efficiencies.
Great. Thank you, Scott. Another question, do you know the bumper on the Next Gen T680, is it a one-piece bumper or is it still a two-piece bumper?
Still a two-piece bumper, and we didn't want to lose that. That's very, very important for after service costs, and yeah, that is still the case.
Okay. Another question regarding the electronic dash. Has there been any discussion on warranty, like a separate warranty for the electronic dash? Or would that be just covered under the base?
That would be covered under the base, yeah. A good question, but it's covered under the base. I would also encourage all of you, as it relates to the electronic dash, we have a separate video, and we didn't show it today, just due to the time frame, but certainly Kristen and Chad have it. I have it, very accessible. But I would encourage you to watch that as well, to really all the thought and strategy that went into the design of that aspect of this platform. Because I would tell you that the electronic dash now for 2.1 meter product in general will be the standard going forward. So a great question, and I would encourage you to see that video as well.
Great, thank you, Scott. I think we're caught up on, we've got another question. Scott, you mentioned the greenhouse gas phases. How many phases are currently in the engineering platform now? And is there any significant changes in the phases as they roll out?
Well, so the phases will, well, I'm going to back up. We talk about greenhouse gas emissions stretched through 2030. We have a lot of very, very intelligent people at PACCAR, Kenworth Truck Company, Peterbilt divisions, DAF, PACCAR in corporate. A lot of smart people working on greenhouse gas emissions and where we're going to be as a company. So there's a whole lot of work being done on it. This isn't something that's going to go away. This is happening. This is occurring now. Well, we're really in kind of in phase one of this of this next shelf space, if you will, with the entire process. We will start to see that move to reduced diesel consumption, higher levels of electrification, and continued dial-in on aerodynamic specs of a truck, to where ultimately, when we get to 2030, and autonomous driving also, and technologies also come into play here, you know, where phase 4 is that 2030 realm. There's a lot to happen between now and then. So we're really kind of just at the beginning. We've, you know, from where we started with the launch of this product in 2012 to where we're at today, after getting through all the engine hurdles and after treatment hurdles, now it's really product related, and then we start to move into alternate engine and power technologies going forward. Lots to come. Stay tuned.
Thank you, Scott. Question regarding I think one of the unique features of the new product is the fold-out side extenders. Questions on, I guess, what is that side extender composed of material-wise, and how does that work with the hardware? How does that technology work to make the side extenders fold out?
Yeah. So the side extenders are built of a soft thermoplastic olefin product, and you know, we've used TPO, you know, throughout as we've gotten into newer technologies, particularly when we launched the T680 back in 2012. So TPO has been a factor of life for Kenworth in our product offering, and now we've been able to find ways to use it in other ways. This is a very unique one with the side extenders, and you know, but we really, as the design video said, we really want to close up that trailer gap as much as we can. And if we do that with the product that we have, we've got to be able to get access to the back of the truck. So it's very straightforward. It's there as an option if you want it. Certainly don't have to do it, but it's that's the best in class aerodynamics for the side extenders that we have.
All right, we're got about a minute left. Do you know if there's literature or a brochure that's printable online? Is it available?
Yeah, all of the brochures are printable online. Check out kenworth.com. And for our dealers, they can go into our e-portal and training site as well for those. So, yes.
And one last question: do you know if any with the smart wheel or the radios, if they'll be able to use voice commands for any operation of the truck?
I don't have an answer for that question. We can get back to you on that one.
Well, great. We're just about at 10:30, or half an hour allotted time. Looks like we've got all the questions covered. So thank you, everyone. Appreciate you joining in. I know everybody's busy, and it's great for you to take time out and join us today and learn about our new products. So please watch out for announcements and follow up from us. And again, thank you for joining. Thank you, Scott, for presenting on behalf of Kenworth.
Great. Have a great week, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.